Derek Walker is a dairy farmer of Spring Common Dairy who has been in the business for over 60 years. His love for his animals and his business is very evident in his commitment to both, along with that of the growth of the dairy sector.
I've been in the industry somewhere from about 1957. I was brought up in a farming community. I grew up with my grandfather around cows. He had a herd of 7 cows, usually milk up to 5 in the mornings, and I had to get up early with him. So from then I have been involved in the cattle, and then after that I was exposed to dairy, being a 4-H clubite, going to borders, seeing their operations, and then I had a love for dairy. I didn't work with Dr. Lecky, but because of my 4-H connection and having to do the cattle judging, I had to interface with him. After I grew up as a young man, we used to meet at agriculture show. Dr. Lecky nicknamed me son. That's how he addressed me when he sees me. Son, I want you to do this, or I want you to come along. So, you know, I really was familiar with him. My daily activity begins just about 4:30 in the mornings. We get up, get the dairy ready for milking, drive in the cows, and we milk them. After milking, we either put them to pasture to graze, or we cut and carry grass to them where they feed under shade condition out of some feeding troughs. We give them what we call concentrate, and after that we feed the concentrate to increase the milk production. So basically it is the animals that are in production get the concentrate, except for calves that you're growing. Alright, so the cows need to have good grass, readily available water in good quantity, and they should have shade. You should keep them free of parasites like tick and worm, so that we have to spray like once per month, and deworming would take place in adult cows like once per year. But for calves and heifers, it's a routine, sometimes every 2 months or year, depending on how the animal condition look. So the best you can keep the animals from the worms, the less you have to put in terms of eradicating parasites. One of the things that cause parasites is that when the animals feed too low, that is when they pick up the parasite. The Drink Real Milk campaign, first as I understand it, is to get the nation, particularly the young people, drinking milk. If they drinking milk, then you have to provide the milk. And this is where the dairy farmer comes in. At this point in time, the Jamaica dairy farmers is challenged to produce as much milk as we can. In terms of how Nutramix help us, they have on the market a good brand of dairy feed. They call Milk Booster. And they have the calf milk, that's the milk replacer, where we feed the calves on the milk replacer so that we can sell more milk to we find that the milk replacer is very good. We have less scoring as of other brands we have used. And as they work out economics on it, I think they said that they save about $8,000 per calf on milk when you use the replacer, so it's good. Additionally, the team of Nutramix people, they come around, they assist you with deworming your animals, vaccinating, and have seminars. Just about 2 weeks ago, Dr. Young did a presentation on management and sanitation, and that went down well. So I can say that Nutramix is really having a good input. From my perspective, I have been using Calvalac since last year. But based on my production, I have not been having many calves at any one time to feed. Presently, I'm only feeding 2. And I just tell you that it takes 2 bags, 50-pound bags of Calvalac to rear out a calf from, say, a week old to 3 months. We was exposed to other milk replacers, or you can feed them on whole milk. When you feed them on whole milk, this is where you get the savings. The other brand and thing, we have not compared in terms of cost, except that we know that there's less cowing, so it is a better milk replacer. My milk production presently has not increased greatly as I would want, but it is not because of the inputs of Nutramix. It is because presently my herd population is small. It needs to increase it by at least another 15 cows. They have offered imported semen. We have Jersey, Holstein and Brown Swiss available to us. And some of us farmers, if not all, are using the facility. I presently have 1 calf out of that Jersey. So I believe that government should get back in assisting the dairy industry to grow, because that would also send a signal to other farmers looking on to say, well, if government is pushing it, then it is something for us to go in. Now, it is very important that the rest of dairy farmers that is now operating, we need to bring up our operations to a standard where it can attract people. Somebody come to you and say, well, you're a dairy farmer. What is it that keep you in? One of the things I will tell you, that for me, of all the agriculture entity, dairy farming is the only entity that you earn money every day. Every single day once you're milking. But we have to get the right people. You have to love it to go into it. And when you go into it, you have to put maximum so that you can get out optimum.
The Drink Real Milk campaign is now 1 year old and has completed a number of seminars and projects sensitizing consumers and customers about the benefits of real milk. Tina Hamilton, brand manager of Nutramix, updates us.
The Drink Real Milk campaign started last year. It was an initiative from the Nutramix brand, which is under Newport Mills Company, which is a part of the larger CB group. And we had some partners come on board with us. We had Seprod come on board because, of course, through Surge, they're the largest milk producer in the Caribbean. We had Newport Fersan. They are experts in fertilizers, and of course, with dairy farms, you have to get your pastures up. It's not just about having good dairy feed like what we make at Nutramix, but of course the pastures need to equally be excellent. And then of course the Jamaica Dairy Development Board, they also came on board with the campaign because it is what they're about. This campaign we are hoping will be a 10-year campaign, just because dairy, to move production and consumption in dairy is going to take a long time. It's not a short-term initiative, and everyone who has signed on thus far, they are all in it for the long haul, which is very encouraging, not just to us but to the farmers as well. So a lot of the dairy farmers who are already in it were investing more in their farms. Some who had come out of the industry were coming back in, and we had new people. The workshops that we do are essential to the farmers. So what we did with Nutramix is we went into the smaller clusters all across the country, and we took the farmers, sometimes 3-4 farmers at a time, sometimes 15, 20, 30 farmers at a time. And we held these workshops to help bring them back up to speed on the best practices for dairy farming and also the new technologies available. And we didn't just stop there. What we tried to do is elevate the industry standards here by bringing in breeds, different breeds, to upgrade the stock, the livestock that's here in Jamaica. What's really been astonishing is the results from our free choice mineral Nutravit. We brought it in the same company, New Science in Holland, and they did a special mix for us here. And we've given it to a number of small farmers, and they are raving about it. One particular farmer has been in the business all his life. His dad owned, the farm, and he has taken over. And he went from averaging about 6 liters a day per cow to now he's going up to 11 and over. And that's been, I guess, only 2 months the cattle has been on Nutramix. So there are many things that contribute to this. So feed is essential. Your farming practices, you have to make sure that the cows are treated properly. There's so many other elements, but Nutramix, of course, goes out. We hold these workshops with the farmers. Fersan comes on board and helps also with these workshops to get the farmers the information that they need. And we really have seen a difference. There's also another initiative that we started. On June 1st, it was World Milk Day, and so a number of the different producers went into schools across the island, because last year we did something with mothers. So we started with the babies in the belly, making sure that the mothers were aware. Don't give the kids sugar water to drink, like bring them back to the start. Milk is a great additive, especially for growing children, especially in developing their brain. And so from that now, this year, we're focusing most on the children, and you would be surprised. These kids, they love milk and they love to learn, and once they understand the benefit of drinking milk versus sugary drinks, that's what they prefer, that's what they want, that's what they're telling their parents. This is what I want to have. And that's really where we need to be. We need to be a smarter, country, economy, like, eat smarter, live better. And that's what we're trying to do as well with this campaign, to just get everybody back on track of us growing better together. Be aware of what you put into your bodies. Milk is such a big part of what you need to have in terms of your whole diet, but don't neglect the rest of it as well. So when you go to the supermarkets, always check, is it made in Jamaica? Is it made with real milk? Have the best from where we're producing it right here. Eat Jamaican.